What's up, bullish friends? Hope you guys are all doing well out there today. And I want to jump into the topic of what is going on in the crypto market right now, because there's a lot of speculation as to what is going to go on. It's a pretty busy week for crypto. There's a lot of news coming out. So let's talk about some of this real quick. And I want to break down kind of like my thoughts and what I think we should expect. And I'm just going to kind of go through all this with you. So first off, there's a really good tweet out by James Bull that has some of the highlights of this. So I'm going to actually read through this as we go. Now, I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I think he has a good assessment of what is going on in the markets and some of the stuff that this could cause. But let's take a look real quick at where crypto is at on the day. All right, so we're up 0.1%. It was higher a little while ago, but it's kind of dropped down. When I first looked at this, it was 0.7. So it had gone up. Now it's starting to dip back down. We're starting to see some of the stuff drop back down. Start seeing some of the charts turning red over here. Well, let's jump over here. I want to talk, though, about this. So James Bull on this tweet points out lots of things happening this week with an extremely bullish CPI, 4.9% down to 4.1 is forecasted. Well, we actually have that hard data now. He actually put this tweet out yesterday. So we have the hard data now, and it actually was 4%. So it's even lower than expected. Now that's like probably the best drop we've had in quite a while. But it's still up. It's still high. And there's still massive inflation in the market, and I'm going to cover that more in just a minute. But let's talk about this. So this was forecasted as of Tuesday, so these are the things that are going to go on today. U.S. CPI data, 4.1 expected. Now, he marks that as super bullish. I don't know about that. Like, it's hit or miss. Like, sometimes we think it's going to be super bullish, and all the indicators would say it should be super bullish, but it's not always. And as you see, so far, it hasn't really been super bullish for the market. Like, it's not going up in a crazy way, and, it's just not really affecting it that well yet. Now, the other stuff that's coming out today is the SEC's Coinbase rule-making response and Binance's U.S. hearing, and he marks these both as important sentiment factors, and I completely agree with that. Like, getting the hearing the early parts of this hearing and getting the initial response on the SEC Coinbase rulemaking is important because it's going to help us see how hard the U.S. is going to push back on crypto. And I think if there's a hard push here, I think that can be super bearish on the markets. Okay, now let's go on to Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we get the U.S. PPI data, which makes the CPI data slightly stronger or weaker. Yeah, he's right in that assessment. So that comes out Wednesday. And the FOMC meeting, they might pause the interest rates. So he says interest rate pause expected, which would be super bullish for the market. And again, that could be a pro or a con. It's hard to know what is going to go on with the markets. Now, for Thursday, he has marked that the U.S. jobless claims increased unemployment increases likelihood for upcoming interest rate reductions. So the unemployment could increase in the U.S. Now, we're talking strictly U.S. here right now, not the worldwide economy, but this does have a big impact on crypto. The U.S. retail sales data, which somewhat shows the state of the economy, is also expected to come out. And I will say this, on the U.S. sales data, I would be shocked if this is good news. Now, I could totally be wrong, but at least in the area I'm at, I've talked to many businesses, and it doesn't seem like people have fully recovered from the down cycle that we've been in. And I know several business owners who have reported less than stellar sales on the year so far, down even under what from last year. So that doesn't mean it's like that everywhere, and this could be more of an outlier. But I do think that the state of the overall economy in the U.S. is very weak, and the sales data, I think, will be weak, but we'll see. Like I said, it could just be where I'm at, and it might be different where you're at. If you're in the U.S., it could be different in your market. So it just depends as a consensus nationwide. So that's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that number is, how the sales data looks on Thursday. And then he goes on to say that that's why the market is not moving so much. Investors are waiting for clarity on those. We will know a lot more tomorrow, which is today, which is what he was talking about with this tweet, talking about, the CPI data coming out today and the federal meeting here where they're talking about potentially pausing the interest rates. So that will be really interesting to see because I believe they've raised them for the last year and a half. I can't remember the time frame without going and looking it all up, but it would be good if they do pause the interest rate hike because that has caused banks not to be able to loan as much money, and that creates a massive cycle all around the board. So anyway, this is just some stuff going on that definitely affects crypto. It affects stocks and everything as well, but since we talk about crypto here, that's our focus. It's just hard to know what is going to happen with these. So I'm just playing the market very cautiously right now. I'm still staying in anything that I have a long-term view on. I'm still staying invested in those things because I don't like to buy and sell everything constantly. So if there are things that I believe in, like, stuff like Constellation, DAG, ads, ADS, those kind of things, I'm in it for the long haul, so I don't buy and sell out of that constantly. In fact, I stake my DAG constantly and I stake my ads constantly. So I keep that in there so I don't have the temptation to pull it out and panic when the markets go down, or panic, or even when they go up, I don't have the temptation to sell it immediately. I want to see what gets built there on those networks for the long haul. So I'm a long haul investor on a lot of things. Now, some stuff I definitely look at as more of a short-term investing. So if you got things that you're in the short term, just be really cautious this week. It's just going to be an up and down week. And depending on the different things that come out, some of this news could be good. Some of it could be super bad. And you'll get a fluctuation in between. So you could see high spikes and low spikes. And that's just what I think is going to happen on the week. Anyway, I wanted to drop this news out. I haven't made a video in a few days. I had a kind of a downer of a weekend, but I'm back at it and getting this stuff done for you guys. I've got more videos planned this week. I'm going to do some more. Might be doing another video on another trading bot this week. So I've just got some stuff in the works that I'm going to be hitting, but I wanted to get this out so you guys kind of know what to expect for the week. And I want to know what your assessment is. What do you think is going to happen this week? Do you think this news is all going to be bullish, or do you think it's all going to be bearish, or do you think there's different things at play here? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.